say, oh, if there was one thing I could have changed, I would have started sooner. I used to think to myself, I would have reached somewhere by now if I had started sooner. Hi, y'all. My name is Riose. I'm a multidisciplinary artist, and I just wanted to make this video just to welcome you all to my little universe. I like to call my little corner the Land of Reverie. It just means the state of being pleasantly lost in one's thoughts, and that pretty much sums up me as a being entirely. I enjoy my solitude so much, and I really do cherish my alone time, just because when I go out and I'm with people that I love and I'm doing what I love, I put so much energy into that I really just have to come back and decompress. So I love the Land of Reverie. On this land, we push positivity, self-love, self-discovery, feeling and acknowledging your emotions, but not dwelling. We don't dwell. And if you haven't noticed by now, it kind of takes me forever to get to the point. So I just want to go through, a laundry list of things that I've been asked and things that I just felt like you guys should know before, we delve into what this channel and what my pages are going to be about. First, foremost, and will forever be singer-songwriter. Okay, my pen is my baby. I always tell people that my pen is my baby, so I really cherish it and I keep it close to my heart. I'm a singer, songwriter before anything else. I come from a family that always surrounded me with music. My father is an instrumentalist. He plays keyboard, guitar, bass guitar, and his mother played violin. So, there's a lot of those influences that come in. My dad also taught me how to play keyboard and guitar growing up, acoustic guitar growing up. So, I kind of know my way around a few instruments, but don't ask me to play for you. So when I was like 5 or 6, I just, I had an affinity for music, and it went beyond, me just enjoying songs. It went beyond me dancing. It went beyond me just, wanting to hear music. I wanted to be the musicians, and I knew this from young. I was emulating artists like Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce, Miley Cyrus, like these people. I would see them on TV and I'd see stars. I'd see people like Britney Spears and be like, I want to hold the mic like that. I want to be panting at the end of my performance and just look into the crowd and everybody's singing, the song that I shared with the world. It's something that I always saw for myself, but, we have self-doubt, we have, not feeling like you're good enough. And that's something I've struggled with my whole life and, I still struggle with today. I wrote music, and it originally started as just a hobby, and with time that grew into me loving poetry and just falling in love with words. And I would always write, if it was narratives, if it was just journaling, if it was writing poetry on my own and writing songs. One common theme that I've always seen within my music is that it's a release for me. It's something that I've kept inside and it just needed somewhere to go. So once I get it on paper, then it's like a deep exhale. I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote so much that I realized that writing and music became a distraction for me. So fast forward to me being in college. I took y'all from me being 6 years old to me being in college. Fast forward, I was studying data analytics at the time. I was actually, a very brilliant girl, but you could just tell that there was something holding me back. And the problem was, I didn't think I was allowed to have the space to actually delve into my actual passions in life. I'm somebody who needs to be fulfilled. Like, I need to feel like I'm in love with what I was doing, and I didn't love it. Who would love, okay, so somebody out there loves data analytics, but that person was not me, okay? The only reason why I was doing it was because my parents said, this is something that you can probably do. You're analytical, you like numbers, fine. I was gonna pay a lot, but I just found myself being so consumed and so distracted by wanting to write and wanting to express and wanting to create that I left it alone. And I just had to tell myself, okay, stop before you dig yourself into a hole that you cannot climb out of. So I stopped, I took a break, and I let myself experience life. And it was not my choice to experience life. Life experienced me, okay? I was thrown in the ringer and spat out and came out a beautiful shining diamond called Riose. I don't hold any regrets in life. I made a lot of mistakes, but the mistakes are what really brought me here. So I just, I've loved every bit of the journey. I'm just at a point where I'm like, you want to do this for real. How do you get people to see that you want to do this for real? Because a problem that I also faced was in all of the steps I'm taking in my life, I'm sharing with people kind of quietly that I love music. I write music. And at any point in my life, if you can ask anybody that has been in any chapter of my life, did she write music then? And they will tell you that she did. But I'm more shy, more reserved, just naturally, even though it doesn't portray that way. I just, I held a lot in, and I would just show people that I trusted with it. Like, oh, I wrote this song. So the problem that I started to realize that I was facing was once I came out of that shell, people were like, oh, but this girl, she's not serious. Or, oh, but this girl, we knew, like, oh, but we knew that she was writing. Oh, yes, you knew, but like, you guys didn't see that, I was under a lot of pressure. There was a lot of things I need to sort out. And I'll be very honest. People always say, oh, if there was one thing I could have changed, I would have started sooner. And I used to think to myself, I would have reached somewhere by now if I had started sooner. But the actual fact of the matter is, if I had started sooner, I would have been unprepared. And I think that every single step that I've taken up to this point prepared me for where I am today. There's amazing music and amazing work that I haven't shared that I would love to share, whether it be individually or, on the wide scale on, platforms that to this day I look at and I'm like, this is a work of art. This is phenomenal. If I had released it then, would I have been able to continue? Would I have been clouded by judgment from other people? Would I have had the tools to recognize when I'm being taken advantage of? Or if this next step that I want to take is the right step for me? Every step that I've taken quite literally pushed me to where I am today. And that's why I can make this video with a big cheery smile on my face. After the world took me through a whirlwind of chaos and nonsense, I found myself, having to come back home and, recalibrate my brain a little bit and, start from ground up, okay? I was in a very dark space, when you feel like you've taken so many steps and you've done so many things to better yourself in life, to come back to where you started, a place that, felt like burdened you, a place that shadowed you, and a place that was reminiscent of your old self, it kind of takes you back into that space. And that's where I found myself. I found myself dwelling within the shadow of somebody I had killed. You get not speaking to the people that I loved, not eating, not even writing, just being somber. And that is when Pretty Good, my first single, came to me. Pretty Good saved me. Pretty Good was me writing an open letter to my past lives and my past friends and people I felt I had left behind. It was like an open letter just saying, this is what I've gone through. Pretty Good, when I started writing it, it just came out as like a painting, like a verbal painting. Pretty good, pretty things, pretty girl was pretty rings, pretty. I wanted to just tell people how, maybe I have to do a lyric video. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lyric video. Not a lyric video, a lyric explanation video, because this song is actually very deep and I feel like it went over a lot of people's heads, but that's okay. I like when people consume the music for how they want to consume it, but I do think that Pretty Good is one of my songs that does deserve further explanation. So yeah, Pretty Good was a song where I wanted to paint a picture and just show people like, this is what things look like optically, but I got to a point where, blue skies turn green skies, turn brown skies and gray. Those aren't the lyrics, but the ending was, from the blue skies to the gray skies. And I was in a space where I was in the gray skies. And I resolved that by saying, sun comes up, still the same. And if you guys really listen to my songs and you pay attention to the lyrics, you just notice, even on my socials, you just notice that I frequently refer to myself as the sun or sunshine. And that's because Pretty Good and that era, like the era of Pretty Good, is what showed me I was sunshine. And I realized, like, girl, you a Leo. Like, I'm a Leo. I am the sun. And me calling myself sunshine, somebody would see that, or me calling myself the sun, like the literal sun. There's planets in the sky and you're referring to yourself as the sun, but me calling myself the sun was less of like a cocky confident gesture, and it was more like, I have to tell myself that I am my own sunshine. I cannot rely on validation from peers. I cannot rely on my bank account to tell me. I cannot rely on, I needed to look within and find what made me happy. And it was myself. The sunshine in my life, the thing that brought me the most happiness was myself. I wasn't going to get it from outside. I was going to get it from me being myself. And in me being myself was me being a musician and me running from, I guess, my greatest fear. And now, that's like my greatest success. So I had to tell myself I was the sun. I had to tell myself I was the sun. And nobody's going to take that from me, because I am the sun. I am sunshine. And you do notice me when I walk into rooms. And when I open my mouth and sing, you catch it. And when you hear my songs, you cannot help but listen. I had to tell myself these things. And now I've gotten to a point where people are telling me that. People are calling me sunshine, although I'd like them to. But the person who told me this, he was trying to diss me when he said it. But he literally said, like, I know you're in a room before I enter the room. And like, that's so powerful to say over somebody. He was trying to diss me, but it was so powerful. And I'm like, wow, like, am I her? Like, am I the sunshine? Pretty Good was me opening a chapter to myself. And I told myself, I want to be a musician, and I want to share my music, and I want to share my words with people, and I want to make a difference in people's lives, and I want people to hear me and think that was refreshing, or that made me feel better, or this was the release I needed. Like, I wanted people to feel seen in ways that I didn't feel seen in life. So I told myself, girl, put the music out. If you don't even get 10 streams, take it like that. Like, I told myself, I don't care about numbers. And Pretty Good came out. I didn't care about the numbers. Then I started caring about the numbers. I'm on Apple Music for Artists. I'm on Spotify for Artists, looking at the numbers. The songs didn't even reach like 100 streams after a month. It didn't even reach 100 streams. And for some reason, I told myself, I like that. And I kept going. And now I've reached a point where, we have our ups and we have our downs, but I'm just like, I'm still in love with this. And I'm consistently falling more and more in love with it. Like, if you guys leave me, I will ramble and talk and yap about music all day, and you won't stop me. And not only will it be about music, it'll be my love for music and my love for the arts and the artists that I listen to that inspire me and the things that I've gone through to bring me to this place. If you listen to my songs, you just be, oh, this is a bop. And let me tell you the story behind the bop and how the bop came to pass. And you'd be like, girl, I thought you were just saying that, man, I thought you were, some people think one was a love song. It's kind of like a love song, but it's not about a physical being love. I didn't realize I was going to start this video and just go so in depth about how much it means to me. I thought this was going to be more of like a Q&A style video, but a Q&A with myself, where I tell you guys like my favorite colors, the artists that influenced me. But I'm realizing that, Rome wasn't built in a day. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a step. I'm just realizing that I have to do. It took me forever to do this video because I hate talking about myself. But then I'm like, you're a Leo who hates talking about yourself. But I'm also a liar because I love talking about myself. It's just that to get it started, it gives me anxiety and I get riled up and I don't want to start. When I do, it feels almost as good as when I'm writing. I think the only thing with writing is that I can be more intentional with how the message is conveyed, and I can be more clear and concise, and I can be wordy. But when I'm speaking, it's just maybe that's just me. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, maybe I'm supposed to let it be free and let it flow how it's meant to flow and not really force anything. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna make this long story time my introduction video. Wow. I don't know. Should I talk more? I can talk more. So Beyonce was the first secular artist I ever listened to, and it was because my dad had a friend. My dad is a minister, so we didn't listen to secular music unless it was like high life or oldies. And Beyonce was the first like modern secular artist I listened to, and it's because my dad had a friend who burned music onto my dad's computer. And me being a nosy, inquisitive child, I entered the computer and I'm like, Beyonce, who's that? B-Day album. downloaded, I burnt it onto a CD for myself. And when I tell you I spun that B-Day thing over and over and over again, you couldn't tell me I wasn't beat. You couldn't tell me I wasn't beat. And after that, it grew more yearning for more knowledge, and I'm starting to like search up the lyrics, and I'm starting to, what I used to do was like, I used to literally print out the lyrics, learn the lyrics word for word, bar for bar, learn how they organize the songs and the stanzas that they use and how many lines goes and how many words goes in a line. And then after that, I would take it, and sometimes I would take somebody's song line by line and just change the words line by line, keep the same syllables, keep the rhyme scheme, but rewrite the song the way that it fits my mouth, and rewrite it with a concept that made sense to a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9-year-old. And that grew a whole bunch of discovery. I also refer to myself as an internet girl. I got my degree from YouTube University. So I'm watching all of these videos and I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot. Like, I love Beyonce, and I've always loved Beyonce, and I feel like I'm always going to love Beyonce, but there's so much more out there. So I'm learning all of these different styles and techniques and falling more and more in love with the differences in the music. And I don't realize that in that I'm building my own, what's it called? I'll insert the word here if I find it. Otherwise, I'll crop this because it's not coming to me. Catalog, portfolio. Those are the words that I was looking for. Yeah, so I'm building my own catalog. I'm building my own portfolio, and I'm doing it through the form of learning. So in that, I also learned for myself is that it's okay to be influenced. It's okay to see something and think, I want to be like that. There's something called the 30% rule. I was only just adding my 30%, and now I've gotten to a point where I can create something strictly from my brain, and I know that this is 100% me. But it came from me being open to learn, and that's why I'll always be a student, because I want to learn more, I want to grow more, I want to do better, because the journey is long. Like, even in high school, there was times in high school where I was in poetry class or poetry club, whatever, and we're all given these different rubrics, and we're meant to write, and not only write, the part of poetry club was not to write. I entered poetry club thinking, we're gonna be sitting here writing poetry, turn it in, and then they'll grade us on our poetry. No. Poetry club, what I had to learn through poetry club, that there wasn't one right way, and nobody's art is better than another person's art, and it's all expression. And the part that I hated the most about poetry club was after I finished writing, you had to share. And when I tell you, as the anxious teen that it was not happening. So I remember one of my favorite poems that I've written, and if you ask for that poem today, I can't find it. It's called The Box. And it was, what I realize now is that it was me, seeing a cardboard box and seeing that, I'm within this cardboard box. Like, it was quite literally a poem about living outside of the box, and it was very cliche, but it wasn't cliche because I remember I articulated it so beautifully, but I didn't think that I articulated it beautifully back then. It was just me being creative with how I expressed that. And, I have to share. So I'm reading the paper, I'm holding the paper like this, and I'm looking down, and I'm talking really low the whole time, and I'm not looking at anybody. And then I finish, and I look up, and everybody around me is like, and they're all like, so now people who are in school who, quite literally never noticed me before, quite literally never acknowledged me. I wasn't like a human being to these people. Like, these people are now like, whoa, you write really well, you this and that. And even that wasn't enough for me, because I'm thinking, oh, it's just because y'all haven't been writing poetry as long as me. Like, oh, and I'm thinking, these people are good at other things. These are the athletes of the school. These are the jocks. I don't know if we use the word jocks, but like, these are the people who are like cool. And they're like, oh, your writing is so blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not cool like you. That's what I was thinking to myself. But it took me like growing up to realize, like, that's your superpower. Like, that is where you shine the brightest, and you need to walk in your path. Once you're walking in your path, nobody can take that from you. So I had that. Going to college. When I was in college, I took a spoken word class my freshman year, and that spoken word class changed my life. I wrote a spoken word piece. What was it called? This spoken word piece was called I Got a Problem. And it was, I was in my social justice era. So not that like my social justice era has ended, it's just that I express it differently. So this was my social justice era where all of my music had to do with Black power and Black girl love and Black girl magic and growing up in this society, 2016 post election. And I wrote a piece called I Got a Problem, and it just listed all the problems that I had. But I articulated it so flavorfully that when I was finished, people were like, somebody walked up to me and they're like, "Are you a rapper?" And I was like, huh, it's funny you asked that because I actually do rap a little. At that time, I was rapping a little. I have crazy rap influences. We got Lil Kim, we got Tierra Whack, we got No Name, we got your friend is saying Nicki Minaj. I had rap influences like J. Cole was the first rapper that I could actually tell myself I'm listening to the album from top to down. So I had all these influences and I'm writing these songs, but they're not going anywhere because, again, this is my hobby. This is my form of self-expression. Even though every single time I let myself show it just a little bit, that's where my light shines. So this, my life has been a series of ignoring the signs, but I don't do that anymore. When I told myself I was going to start releasing music, it was probably like 2018, but I wanted to get like a catalog together and I wanted to believe in myself first. And back then I told myself, I'm not going to be a singer. I'm not going to be a singer. I'm going to be a rapper. And we didn't have too many female rappers out back then. We had like Meg Thee Stallion and the, other rappers I listed prior, but it wasn't so many where female rap was accepted or female rap was rated the same way that they rate, male rap. So, I was rapping to myself and whatever. I didn't really actually believe in my singing voice. So after I dropped Pretty Good, I thought to myself, like, wow, people like actually want to hear me. Like, people, oh, you have an amazing voice. I'm like, me, Marie, like, I have an amazing voice, but I'm going to, learn to accept compliments and don't question people when they give you accolades and tell them thank you because you are that and you'll be more than that. And if you don't accept it, then you can't become greater than it, or you can't be it even if you don't feel it. So these are things that I had to learn. Hey, my whole life has been learning. Even when I avoid school, I'm still learning. Look at that. So I thank you to every step of the process. And this is just me telling like the tip of the iceberg of the story. There's so much more to the story that, if I began to speak about it today, we're going to be here all day. And I told myself I had to keep this video short. And again, I'm a liar. I lied to myself. It's okay. I do want to talk more and I do want to talk plenty because this feels very conversational. I feel like I'm having a conversation with somebody and they're asking me questions and it's giving like stream of consciousness, but it's not stream of consciousness. This is me rambling and yapping as if somebody's here to listen to me. Nobody's here to listen to me. But I hope y'all do watch it and actually do make it to the end and actually do listen to me because I actually do need the numbers. Numbers don't matter, but I do need that. And this is the problem. You can talk, and then you reach the end. It's like, how do I wrap up? That's how I felt when I was starting. Like, how do I start this? I started, and then the meat was easy for me, but the ending and the starting, that's the hard part. So I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna end it on what kind of note? Okay, I'll end it on a African Ghanaian proverb, one of my favorite Ghanaian proverbs, which means it's not only tonight's that is tonight's. Hey, somebody help me with the translation in the comments if I got that wrong, but so like, sun comes in the morning. Like, another thing you guys will learn about me is that I like to speak in parables. I love to speak in parables. It's the writer in me. The journey long. We're gonna get there because I have big dreams and I plan to get them. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to me and taking the time out of your day to hear my story, hear me out, and get to know me on a music journey level a bit more. And if you like this, let me know. I like talking. So if you guys give me a reason to talk, I'll talk. So yeah, let me know how you like it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm gonna make this really cliche like the OGs used to do it. Bye.